2, 1.
Hi everyone, it's Mrs. Scano, and today I'm going to teach you how to simplify radicals. The first step of simplifying radicals is always to write out a list of our perfect squares. We're going to need this list of perfect squares for a future step. In order to get started, we're going to take a look at our problem. Radical 72, we need to simplify that. In order to get set up, we're going to write two radical symbols underneath the 72. After we write our two radical symbols, we're going to take a look at our list of perfect squares and find the square that fits evenly into 72. To get started, you want to find the perfect square that is closest to 72 without going past 72. So take a look at our list here and you'll see the closest number to 72 is 64. So in our calculator, we'll put 72 divided by 64. And again, we're looking to see if we get a whole number. 72 divided by 64 is not a whole number. You get a decimal, 1.125. So that won't work for us. We're going to cross off our 64, and now we're going to start with 49. We're always going to move our way up the list of perfect squares. 72 divided by 49, you also don't get a whole number. You also get a decimal, so that won't work either. So we'll cross off our 49, and guess what we'll try now? 36. 72 divided by 36 is a whole number. We get the whole number 2. So now we know what two numbers we're putting in our radical symbols. We have our perfect square, 36, and we have our whole number 2. But which number goes where? The perfect square is always going to go on the left-hand side. So we're going to take that 36, we're going to put it under the left radicand, and then we're going to circle it to tell ourselves that we need to do something with it later on. We're going to take our whole number, and we're going to put that to the right. So now we're all set up for our last step. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take that number on the left, our perfect square, which we circled, and we're going to simplifying it by putting it in our calculator. So we put in our calculator radical 36, and we get 6. So we're going to write that in our final answer. And on our right-hand side, we're going to take our radical 2, and we're going to also bring that down. So please notice that when I simplified the 36 in our calculator, I got rid of the radical symbol and just brought down the 6. And over here on the right-hand side, you're going to bring down your radical symbol and the number in it, so radical 2. And that is your answer. So just to recap, whenever you're working with radicals, right, whenever you're simplifying, first things first, write out your perfect squares. Then draw two radical symbols. Then find the number closest to your original number under your list of perfect squares and start multiplying them. Divide them and see which number is a whole number. When you find the whole number that divides evenly into your original number, you'll write the whole number to the right and the perfect square to the left. Last thing you'll do is simplify that perfect square that's circled and bring that down without the radical symbol, and then bring down your number on the right with the radical symbol. And that's how you simplify radicals. So now it's your turn to practice. Take a look at the worksheet that we gave you and rewind this video if you need to, and remind yourself, how do you simplify radicals? If you have any questions, please feel free to ask us. So the last thing we'd like to show you is how you can check your work. There's a way to check your work in your calculator to know if your answer is correct. Here's how you do it. Take the original problem that you were given, radical 72, and plug that in your calculator and see what you get. Compare that to your final answer, and if the numbers are the same, then your answer is correct. So I'll say that one more time. Take the original number that you were given, put it in your calculator, compare that to the answer that you got, and if the answers are identical, then you know you simplified correctly. So why don't you go back now and take a look at the work that you did. Check your answers. If your answers don't match up, then you did something wrong. Okay, hopefully this video was helpful, and we'll see you soon.